Good people, what's happening? It's your boy Trouble T Roy. Get Kicks Wholesale the number 2 at gmail.com. GETKICKZWHOLESALE the number 2 at gmail.com. This video, I'm going to ask some questions that will ultimately and completely determine this real versus fake battle that a lot of us go through. Honestly, real versus fake doesn't bother me as much anymore because I've educated myself. That's the reason why I'm able to debate nonsense and things that I see, like legit check apps and authenticators and shops authentication process, whether it's a huge shop well known or whether it's a smaller shop or boutique that's not as well known. Again, I'll say this is completely redundant, but you know, the game is monopolized and it's a small sect of people or businesses or types of people that's only supposed to be quote unquote allowed in. That's the whole reason initially for real versus fake. Also, the reason for real versus fake is because it makes a ton of money. I've said this multiple times. It also gets people views when they do videos with real versus fake. And you can obviously see that it's whack. Like, you see the sneaker convention cats, it doesn't even make sense. It's not even close in making sense. You think they don't know that? They absolutely positively know that, okay? It's a big money thing. It's a big deal. This is why they do it. It will never stop. They will continuously do it because the minds of the people are predominantly swayed already. You get what I'm saying? People that are educated in this, they second guess themselves and they're educated already. So to put all of this to rest, I felt like I should do this. This is probably multiple thousands of dollars worth of game, and I know I said I wouldn't give out any free game anymore, but I figure I would end it with a bang, okay? The question is, number one, are unauthorized authentic shoes replicas? Let's start with that. Let's start with the minor thing that people typically really don't ask, but it's a question that's in their mind. Every shoe that is produced after the original shoe is a replica. I'll repeat that. Every shoe that is produced after the original shoe is a replica. So that is the true definition of a replica. So if you have a Jordan 1 and it's a bread colorway Jordan 1, if it's not the original shoe from 85, it's a replica, okay? That's why you see, like, it's not the same as the original made. It has to be the original made in order for it not to be a replica. Are there fakes out there? Absolutely. Do people use the wrong terminology for fake shoes, artificial shoes? Absolutely. There are knockoffs out there. And you can definitely tell the difference between an authentic shoe versus a knockoff. Okay? It's easy. It's simple. So we'll leave that right there. We won't elaborate on that anymore. The next thing that I want you to think about, and this here, or these here, are the $1 million questions. If I buy a shoe, okay, off of the Nike sneakers app, I happen to score a shoe that's typically hard to get off the Nike sneakers app. I send it to GOAT or StockX. They deem my shoe not to meet their qualifications or specifications. So does that now make that shoe that I got off the Nike sneakers app fake? Because guess what? That happens. It goes on all of the time. Had a homie just go through that. I went through that. Other people went through that. And I have receipts to prove this stuff, people. Again, the stuff that I tell you isn't opinion, again, unless I say it's my opinion. This is a fact. Scored a shoe on a sneakers app, sent it to StockX, they declined the shoe. It's a retail pair. Happens all the time. So does that mean my retail pair is fake, or is their system flawed, or do they not want to take that shoe in for whatever reason? And I'll let you guys tell me what that reason is that they don't want to take the shoe. I'll leave it to you. I already know the reason. So, okay, here's another question. So if I cop a pair of shoes from StockX, right? And I go to get them authenticated at, let's say, Flight Club, and Flight Club says they're not real, then what? So are they fake? I got them from StockX, and they have an authentication process, and they say that their authentication process is top notch. Or say I cop a pair of shoes from Flight Club, and I get them authenticated at Stadium Goods, and Stadium Goods says that shoe isn't authentic. Is my shoe fake? Is it? These are questions that nobody addresses, and they're so simple. Okay? So is my shoe fake because, say, if Stadium Goods said they were and I got them from Flight Club? Or what if I cop my shoes from Stadium Goods, send them to GOAT? GOAT deems them not to be real or not authentic, or whatever terminology they may use. Are my shoes fake? I'm just trying to shed some light on this real versus fake thing ultimately. Okay? Or if I get my shoes from GOAT and I send them to StockX and StockX deems them not, or vice versa. You guys get my point and get where I'm going. So I know a lot of you are going to make excuses and say, well, you know, everybody's not accurate all of the time. You're right, but how much room do we have for inaccuracy? My point is, this happens more than some of the time. This happens all of the time because of the monopolization in the sneaker industry, or the monopolization. I said monopolization. I done made a word. Monopolization in the sneaker industry. Okay? So it happens more often than not. So it doesn't just happen occasionally. I can see if that happened occasionally. So whose shoes are really legit? Again, if you want, you can try that experiment on your own and watch for the results. I guarantee you I know what those results are before you even do it. Because I like doing my research and trying things to make sure I have proof to back what I'm saying, which a lot of you don't. A lot of people debate that. Okay? Especially, here is the underlying issue. The brands don't authenticate, so who's the expert? Y'all tell me. With all of this, who's the expert? Who really knows this real versus fake thing? Nobody. It's a sham. Legit checking apps. It's a sham. I don't care what type of artificial intelligence they tell you they're using. How is something that uses artificial intelligence that the brands aren't backing and then you go to their About Us section or their rules and regulations and things like that, and everything is subjective, and it literally tells you that this authentication thing is their opinion, so that then disqualifies the artificial, technology, the artificial intelligence in the app. It disqualifies it. It kicks it out, because now you're saying it's your opinion. So that means that that artificial intelligence isn't even accurate. What point is it? Or are you even using artificial intelligence to legit check at all? You can't. It's impossible. And people fall for it and live by it because they're so brainwashed. It's sad. Yet you're worried about what people are going to tell you about your shoes. What level of thinking are you at? Where's your mentality that you're so worried about what other people think about shoes that you buy, that you're based off, and your thought process is based off another man or woman's opinion? Wow, I've never Never been based off of something somebody else thought, because of something I wanted and chose to do, and something I've educated myself in. You dig what I'm saying? Like, if you educate yourself in something and you're confident in it, no other person that's not educated in it is not going to sway. They're not going to sway how I feel about what I'm confident and certain in. Because I don't care how big they are. I don't care what influence they are. They're not a specialist in it. I don't care if it's a celebrity, an athlete. I don't care who it is. Unless it's, again, in this case, the brands themselves. Because guess who they are? They're the experts in producing these shoes. Of course I'm going to take it from the actual proven factual experts. Not people who front and fraud and put on a facade and claim to be experts to get views and popularity. Come on. Y'all better wake up. Like I say, this is multiple thousands of dollars worth of game. And I'm giving you this just to settle real versus fake ultimately. Think about those questions. If I buy it from StockX and go to Flight Club and they say it's not real. If I go to Flight Club and sell it to GOAT and they say it's not real. If I go to GOAT and sell it to Stadium Goods, they say it's not real. Or I cop off the actual retail sneakers app and I try to sell it to any one of those outlets, any boutique, and they say it's not real. Because guess what? It happens more often than not. That goes to show you that none of these cats out here are experts. They're not. It's a made-up title. Authenticator is a made-up title, and they're making big bucks and getting big views off of you because you're so worried about what somebody else who's not an expert thinks about what you do and what you wear. And I'm going to end it on that note. I'm out of here. Peace.